Okay, Some Velvet Sidewalk right there with Earthbound, and you guys played with them recently. Went on tour with them.
Yeah, around last time this year. Last year. This time last year.
And we also heard two songs by Mecca Normal, Blue TV, which is off Calico Kills the Cat. And now you want to tell me a little bit about that provocative cover there?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's kind of one of the few images that a woman actually has of herself without looking in a mirror.
Right. We might as well describe it.
Yeah.
It's a picture of a woman's, I guess, thighs or something, and the panties pulled halfway down.
Yeah, it's like what you see if you go to take a pee.
Uh-huh.
You look down, you got your underwear around your knees, and that just struck me as I say, an image that women see of themselves rather than always the male projected image of what women are supposed to be, or one of three things that you can aspire to be as a female. So
I see.
That's what that's all about.
Okay, and what was the other song we heard? Off the new single.
Oh, Forlorn, yeah.
Forlorn. Okay.
So, yeah, the idea behind the title of that, Calico Kills the Cat, is that by labeling something like a cat, calico, you have this image of, oh, this is calico, wandering through your yard. And it's almost the same thing by naming a woman, whatever derogatory or specific stereotype label tends to reduce the possibilities of what that person actually is, narrowing the kind of overall view of what women can be or are.
And there's a lot of, there's a lot of, feminist issues that you bring up on that record. How does it come across to the people that show up at your shows? I mean, isn't that usually, the kind of crowd, you don't really have to deal with as far as sexism goes, or do you find that, that's a good crowd to start off with?
I don't think sexism is a problem that's been eradicated to begin with. I think it's something that people need to be dealing with and looking at themselves and looking around them all the time as something to be aware of. And sure, some people either are feminists or they support feminist ideas, but I think it's still empowering to have somebody on stage talking about those things and bringing them up within the context of music. I think that people need that type of support just to further their own dialogue with their friends or in their own lives to keep having issues brought up. And again, for people who perhaps don't put a lot of importance or don't see sexism as a big problem, they're confronted with specific issues from the stage or on a record. And also, it's not just something that we talk about, it's something that we're doing. We are a woman and a man on stage, and we're not boyfriend and girlfriend, as, people seem to think just because we're doing this band thing together, that we're obviously involved romantically or something. So it's, I think we actually are involved in the issues that we're talking about. If we are doing songs about war on stage, we're not actually involved in war, but we're talking about feminism, and it's something that we're dealing with in our everyday lives, as are most people.
Okay, but you're satisfied with, you feel you're actually, getting the message out in, the role that you were, in as a band.
Sure. Well, I'm not on some big crusade to educate people. These are just things that I've come across in my life, adverse situations that I've had to deal with, and talking to other women. I know there's a tremendous amount of problem that needs to be looked at and overcome. So I think it's still a useful thing, but mainly these are just my feelings, and I feel very strongly about it. And as I am a person who needs to and wants to express what I live through.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the lyrics, there isn't really, it's not preachy, because there is also kind of an ambivalence in some of what you talk about, especially, I think it's the last song, Will He Change? And it's like, well, okay, we put rapists in jail, but doesn't mean that they're going to do anything,
Yeah, I always think of that more as a song about prisons in general, that as a system to punish people or to keep people away from society. They're not particularly successful from either point of view. And will people really change? And is that what we want to happen? Because if we're trying to get people to change from within that system, it simply isn't working. Prison is, to me, a really antiquated way to deal with social problems. And when you look at the percentage of people race-wise who are in prison and the particular crimes they've committed, they're usually to do with property. It's more a social situation that's it reflects badly on capitalism, if you ask me. There's an imbalance of power and financial power, and that's simply doesn't go away by locking people up.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about Black Wedge.